Okay, I've been asked about orbs, question mark, real or fake? What do I think about them? What's my interpretation, what's my point of view on the whole orb phenomenon? Orbs, everywhere, yes, orbs. I don't know. And I don't think that there is any way in which we can properly scientifically evaluate whether these things really do appear when there's psychokinetic activity or spirit activity or whatever happening in various different ways or places. I have had personal experiences with various forms of bioplasmic or spiritual healing energy type things, suggesting that there is a consciousness-based energy which can emanate from the physical nervous system and can be shaped by visualization. That seems to be real, for want of a better phrase. But it is for want of a better phrase. It's just like an experience. An experience shows that the experience can happen, and it's not like cast in stone, and there's questions everywhere, and it's all rather complex. And I don't know. Out of all of the orb photographs I've seen out there, I've been pretty lackluster about them. I've been pretty much kind of like, that does not look very good. That doesn't look very real to me. That looks like it isn't real. It looks to me as though that is dust on the lens. It looks to me as though that is dust in the air being picked up by the angle of the light and refraction on the poor quality camera lens. I've even seen one set of orb photographs where all the orbs were diamonds, diamond shapes. And I thought to myself, this is due to something about the camera lens, which distorts the dust instead of like a round blob with a kind of like a rainbow halo-y effect around it in a kind of like blobby kind of amoeba-like way. They were all diamonds and all of them perfectly lined up, so it was quite plainly a camera lens thing. And there's lots of people who are catching these wonderful pieces of dust and insects and telling everyone, this is an orb. Totally like serious, straight-faced, this is an orb. This actually happens when there's spiritual activity. We can tell this is exoplasmic activity. We got questions, we haven't got answers, and I can carry on reiterating that until I die, and afterwards, if what I think is right about that is, right about that, or not, as the case may be, I don't know. But there's tons of fake shit out there, and it's kind of like weird, because I personally do not recall having seen what you could call a genuine orb. I have seen with my own either 2 or 3 eyes or whatever it is we're supposed to have the spiritual healing energy. I have seen that being sculpted by visualization. I have done or seem to have done that sculpted by visualization. Which was weird and wonderful in its own little way. But orbs themselves, some people say they watch my videos and they've seen orbs on them when I was doing like the Ouija board seances, or when I'm, talking about like meditation and other weird stuff. Well, maybe that was an orb, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a bit of dust caught on the camera. Maybe, especially now it's the winter, and in the winter we tend to have the radiators turned on. There may be dust inside the fins of the radiator, which could then be created like convection currents, and the convection currents go up the walls and all the rest of that, and then maybe you're more likely in the winter to see orb phenomena here on YouTube. Scary, right? Because that's a very likely possibility. It's not a certainty, because nothing is certain. You can have the skeptics saying, well, this is certainly an insect, or this is certainly a piece of dust. But again, there can also be other questions, which means that their certainty is not all that certain. If that makes any sense to you whatsoever. Or not. Alright, because the skeptical community uses the same kind of like hard truth claim kind of bollocks as the cult leaders, New Age, occult, spiritual, religious cult leader stuff. Again, hard truth claim, bollocks. Just because someone's making these hard statements of seeming fact, it doesn't mean to say that they are total facts, no matter which side of the debate they come from. Okay? Because if you're not perpetually asking questions and seeing the flaws in your own arguments, and the flaws in other people's arguments, and all the flaws, because we're all humans and we're all coming from little political points of view and little religious points of view and little psychological and emotional and class-driven points of view and culture-driven points of view, and therefore we're probably all wrong, then, whatever. Okay? So, I mean, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 question marks on that one particular comment that was left for me. I think that I could just do like a whole line of question marks, and that wouldn't really be enough question marks to cover the number of questions that there are about things which there are questions to ask about them. Does that make sense? And then the question is, what do we mean by orbs? When I had like bad health and I was malnourished when I was a kid, I used to see like things coming out the tops of trees that looks almost like they could be regarded as being orbs, but maybe they weren't. Maybe they were loose flowing blood cells in the fluid of my eyeball, and I was projecting that these things were coming out of the trees when they weren't coming out of the trees. They were inside my own eyes, and I was seeing them more because I was malnourished at the time, because I was unhealthy, which is a possibility too. So the thing that I really object to is just like certainties, because there aren't all that many of them, and that's a bastard and a very big difficulty for many people, and because people struggle with that, they will end up casting aspersions, using their own hard truth claims, or indeed, insulting people and calling them various different names, or making insinuations that people are part of various different political or theological points of view when they're not. And that's part of what the human social world is about, but it's not desirable. Not always. Okay? Never stop asking questions. There may be real ones, but there's definitely a lot of fake ones out there. So it's just like question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, yay. Question mark, question mark, question mark, yay. I mean, that's what I think about orbs. We got questions. We ain't got answers. Which is sad. It's the way it is. So, accept it. Because that's the only real truth. We don't know. I don't know. You don't know. They don't know. I can conjugate the verb to not know. Easy.